Hey everybody, how y'all doing? I'm coming on here today for two reasons. The first thing I want to do is I want to apologize to y'all because I have done something that has affected you guys when y'all been watching my videos. And that is that because I'm not comfortable just yet making these videos, I'm not comfortable talking to the camera. I have not let my own personality shine and I have been boring. Not a little bit of boring, not just a little, like medium kind of boring. I've been big bored. Trust me. I haven't watched the videos myself. I know what kind of pain y'all been going through, okay? So I'm sorry for that. Now, the main reason, wait a minute, first let's do something different because this hair, it keep getting in my way. Let's put this up. Hold on a second. Let me do a little something because this ain't gonna work. I'm hot. If y'all don't know, I'm 44 years old. I'm entering what some people I guess gonna be calling perimenopause because I've been hot. I've been real hot. Like who turned the heat up in here? I thought I had the air down on 70 and I'm burning up. So we're gonna put this hair up. Now, what I was talking about? I was talking about my main reason for coming on here is to help you guys to benefit from something that it took me a long time to learn. That was how to maintain my identity once my path changed. See, when I was younger, getting ready to go to college, going through college, all those sorts of things, I had goals. I had dreams. I had aspirations. Who I was going to be, where I was going to live, what I was going to do, how many kids I was going to have. I had it all planned up. I even had the names for the children, all of them. Real cute names, too. But everything changed when I was 21 and I took that flu shot and I ended up with epilepsy. Everything changed. All my goals, all my dreams, all my aspirations, wasn't even a possibility for me to have kids no more. So everybody who I thought I was going to be was no longer an option. And so I forgot. Well, I didn't even say forgot. I didn't know who I was in this new box that I considered myself to be in. Okay? And what I didn't understand was that I was still me. See, when I was going to work, because I had to get a job that wasn't what I thought I was going to get, I still enjoyed life. I got to talk to people. I got to enjoy the people that I was working with. I got to help people. I was still doing things that I loved. I just wasn't doing things that I thought that I was going to do. And then when the doctor said he wasn't going to let me go back to work, then everything changed. Because now I like to talk. I don't know how to shut up. I'm always talking, okay? Just don't know how to talk to this camera. But I love to talk. But when I'm at home, and while I'm at home with nothing to do, everybody else is at work. They busy. They ain't got time. So who am I supposed to communicate with during the day? I don't know. So what am I supposed to do with myself? I'm at home. I don't drive. I don't go anywhere on my own. So what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to get to where people are so that I can communicate with? Because when I was working, even though I wasn't driving, I was still around people, enjoying other people. But now I'm at home. I don't know what to do with myself. See, I had dogs, but dogs don't talk. I had a husband, but he was at work. I had friends, they was at work. Everybody was at work. And rather than me being able to understand that people were just busy, I started to feel lonely and think that didn't nobody care about me. See, that's how your mind works. It don't let you be rational when things change abruptly. It make you think the extreme of everything. Oh, they don't care about me no more. They don't love me. Don't nobody got time for me. I got time for everybody. Ain't nobody got time for me. Why I got time for everybody? Because I'm at the house. Why ain't nobody got time for me? Because they at work. See, that's the logic of the situation. But that ain't how your brain thinks. So what I made the mistake of doing was when I became a disabled citizen, I let my disability take over my identity. Big mistake. See, I started to think, well, I'm not smart no more because I have epilepsy and I don't remember. I can't think the way I used to think. I'm not funny anymore. Why? Because, my brain don't function the same. I'm not as quick as I used to be. I'm not enjoyable anymore. Don't nobody want to be around me anymore. Your brain just started taking over, running wild with all this wild talk, this foolishness, because you are in a new phase of life, something that you didn't expect, and you don't know how to get out of it. You don't know what to do next. That's the thing. You don't know what to do next. You don't know how to deal with it because it's not what you expected to be doing. It's not the plan. But just because the plan changed, don't mean that you have to change. Okay? So that's the first thing that I want you guys to realize is that when you become a person who has to deal with different circumstances, you do not become the circumstance. You are still a whole individual with a whole identity. And just because you're not doing what you thought you do, don't mean that you don't have talents. Don't mean that you don't have abilities. It means that you got to take the time and discover what those things are. Okay? See, now you have a different opportunity because as somebody with a disability, something that you're going to have to do, you cannot deny yourself the opportunity to be able to sit and talk to somebody about how you feel. See, as Black people, and sometimes just as imperfect individuals, we feel like we got to keep it all locked in. Can't talk to nobody, can't share. This is my business. Don't nobody need to know about my business. But what you don't understand is that people have jobs as therapists for a reason. And we make therapists rich when we don't get the help we need early on. So then we continue in a downward spiral to where we got to go to therapy for a long time. And all we're doing is filling the therapist's pockets because we didn't get the help we needed when we needed it. Now, mind you, I didn't pay nobody. I probably owe a lot of people because a lot of people did take the time to listen to me, to let me whine, to let me cry, to let me, try to figure my way through all these new feelings of this new circumstance that I found myself in. That's something that's necessary. You got to get these feelings out. You have to acknowledge that things are different, and you got to figure out who you're going to be, what you're going to do with yourself now that things are not the way that they used to be. That's necessary. You cannot avoid it. You cannot pack it in a box somewhere and forget about it, put it on the shelf and let it get dusty. Because you're going to keep on experiencing the guilt and the trauma and the drama and all the frustration of not knowing who you are now. Because your circumstance has changed and you have become the circumstance. You got to remember that you have your own identity. That has not changed. You still funny, you still smart, you still, intelligent. You can still be empathetic, sympathetic, all those things. You can still be you in a new circumstance on a different path. Now, something that you're going to have to learn as a person that either has a new circumstance and wait a minute, let me stop right here. Let me let y'all know that just because a person has a disability don't mean that they're not worthy or they're not worth anything or that they're lazy. See, some people who don't have disabilities make the mistake of calling somebody lazy, of calling somebody out trying to, oh, you just don't want to do anything anymore. You say that until you walk in my shoes. And then you want me to be able to understand how you feel when you were in these shoes, when you didn't understand how I felt when I first put these shoes on my feet. So I want y'all to not make that mistake if you are healthy right now, to have the nerve to, what's the word, judge somebody whose life has changed. Because you don't know that not only has their body changed, but their mind has changed too, because there's a whole adjustment situation that's going on. The whole person. It's learning how to live differently. So don't do that, okay? Don't make that mistake. Now, let's get back to the business. One thing that you are now capable of doing after you have accepted your difference, if you don't know how to do anything else, you have learned that it helps, that it is healing to talk because somebody had to take the time to listen to you. Somebody had to take the time to listen to me. I owe a lot of people therapy hours, time for the money for their therapy session, but they weren't licensed and I was broke. So friends, family, whoever, whoever would give me an ear at the time is who I talked to. And I told them how I was feeling. I told them how I felt like my body had changed, how my body had turned against me, and they reassured me that I was still the same Alexis. So now that you know what it's like to have somebody empathize and sympathize with your situation, now you are in a better position to empathize and sympathize with someone else. Now you got these two ears at work. They ain't clogged up no more. So you take this right here and zip it and you listen and you encourage and you build up and you remind people that they still have worth despite the fact that they can no longer do what it is that they thought they were supposed to be doing, what they had planned on doing, what they had aspired to be. That just because those things have changed don't mean that you are nobody. Don't mean that you don't have value. It don't mean that you have worth. It just means that you need to take the time to figure out what it is that you can do right now. And so sometimes you got to sit in your silence. That me, I can't take silence. Silence drives me crazy. So I have some music. Sometimes I have to write my thoughts and feelings down on some paper. Whatever it was, get it out, figure it out. Somebody suggested that I do something creative. Well, what's that? I don't know what creative means because all I know how to do is math and science and books. That's all I know. So I had to figure out that I have a creative side. And then I had to take the time to explore that creative side to figure out who I am within it. So that's what y'all seeing now. It's not who people expected me to be Whew, that didn't come out right, did it? It's not who people expected me to be when I was growing up. It's not who I expected to be when I was growing up, but it's who I am now today. I'm still valuable. I'm still worthy. I'm still intelligent. I'm still smart. I'm still funny. I'm just different. And so if you are going through something, regardless of what that something is, whether it's, you're now a widow, whether it's now you have empty nest syndrome, all your kids that moved out, whether it's you find yourself in a different financial situation, whatever your thing is, even if you find yourself having a disability, whatever your circumstance is and however it is changed, the first thing you got to do, deal with that mental. Then after you deal with that mental and you get a handle on who you are now, then you need to explore. Do the work to figure out what it is that you can do in your new capacity. You are still valuable. You still have worth and you can still do anything. That is my message for y'all today. Don't let nobody shut you down. Don't let nobody push you out. Don't let nobody put you in a box because your abilities have changed. Because your mind can still do anything. Because your hands and your feet don't work the same. It don't matter. You can still figure out what you can do within the capacity that you find yourself, okay? I want y'all to think on that for a minute. We'll talk some more soon. Y'all have a good one.